You are in the mix with D Hall and the People's Show.
You got it locked with D Hall on the weekend, baby. Ready?
Coming to us out of studio today in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay York. He is the number one, undisputed, top talk show host on the air today. The voice of the People Show. Ladies and gentlemen, here is D Hall.
Jay York production.
Hello to everybody. And Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Thank y'all for coming on and watching me on Father's Day. Hello to you. Thank you. It's been a blessing and has been a blessing. But before we go any further, this is a video, online talk and discussion. This show educates adult audiences. Parental advisory is advised. Some things may or may not be censored. Lives are not edited for children. So if you got kids around, let them know what's up. Be careful. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for coming on and being a part of the show today. Happy Father's Day once again to everybody, to all the men, and also to some of the mothers that took the place of the father. I want to say Happy Father's Day to you today. We're here again on the D-Hall People Show. We're little still into the boxing, but it's a little bit more toward the looking after the boxing today. And I'm glad to be here, glad to be on the show, glad to have you here with me. I have Lisa Mcclellan and Kevin Pearson. They are the founders of the Ring of Brotherhood and Foundation. But before we begin, I'd like to say once again, Happy Father's Day to everybody. Here we go. And we're getting ready to get into the program right now. Let me first bring them in. That's one right there. There's Mrs. McClellan. There's one. Let's get the other gentleman in here.
Hi, Donnie.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm gonna leave it at this format because I can see everybody real good. I thank y'all for coming in on a Father's Day.
Hello,
Thank
Donnie.
you for having us.
How you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing good. Just finished church.
Wonderful.
Hello, Lisa.
I'm
Hi,
glad.
Pastor.
Hello.
I'm glad you prayed for me.
Yes, sir. I'm the one may need to pray this morning or afternoon.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Look, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, first of all, I want everybody to introduce themselves. Lisa, we're going to start with you first. Let the people know who you are and where you're from.
I'm Lisa Mcclellan. I am from Freeport, Illinois. Sister to former middleweight champion, WBC middleweight champion, Gerald McClellan. And I have taken care of Gerald since his injury 28 years ago.
Wow. Well, there you have it. The former two-time world middleweight champion, Gerald McClellan. We're gonna talk about, get into the discussion about him and how we got to this where we at now. But next up, my man, Pastor. Tell the people who you are and where you're from.
Thank you, Donnie. My name is Kevin Person. Obviously, I'm a pastor, but also I'm from Clovis, California, in the central part of the state. And I am a partner of Lisa McClellan. I'm co-founder of the Ring of Brotherhood LLC and Ring of Brotherhood Foundation. And we've been at it for about 3 years, and I'm sure we'll dig into that. But
Yes,
It's
sir.
just an honor to be with you today and with my dear friend Lisa, and on Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
And so,
Father's Day too, Pastor.
yeah,
You
and
too, Donnie.
Thank you.
all the men out there, and um, so this must be an important call for me to be here on Father's Day, and so, but it is a blessing to be with you all and excited about the show.
Thank you so much for being a part of the program that we have here, me and Jay, your productions. Lisa's been on before. This is your first time, but we're going to talk. We're going to talk about what you have, and with your foundation. But first of all, I wanted to say thank both of you for being here. Lisa, you're the sister of the two-time world champion Gerald McClellan. How is he doing today? Right now, today.
He is doing wonderful, Donnie. So he's in great health,
Wonderful.
great spirits.
Amen. Amen.
Um, he's still completely blind,
Okay.
and with the brain damage, we're at a point with the traumatic brain injury / CTE,
Hmm.
where there's a lot of aggression and combativeness.
Wow.
Um, but other than that, he's great.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. We're gonna go back a little bit in time. Lisa, Pastor, you just hold it right there. I got you covered.
Oh
We'll
no,
go,
I'm here because of Lisa. So we want to make this. We want to get the record straight. So
okay.
whatever, yeah. So you don't never have to. I'm not that guy. So
Okay.
just, yeah, I'm here because of Lisa. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Getting back to you, Lisa. We want to go back a little bit and a little bit with you. Um, and what I'm saying is, y- y- you know, you remember the time when go back because a lot of people don't understand what happened that night, uh, what happened to your brother, and this is going to lead all the way up to the foundation. That's all I'm trying to do, lead it all the way up to there. So give a little, tell us a little bit about what happened that night.
So February 25th, 1995, Gerald went over to England he stepped up in weight from middleweight to super middleweight to fight Nigel Benn over in England. And I've never watched the fight
Hmm.
completely, Donnie. So
Hmm.
I've seen clips over the last 28 years,
Right.
but there, Gerald knocked Nigel out of the ring in the first round. And the fight went on longer because he stayed out longer than what he should have. The fight was allowed to go on. Gerald received several rabbit punches to the back of the head.
Hmm.
It was a headbutt. Um, Gerald was never knocked out. He went down. He took the knee because he knew he was in trouble.
Hmm.
He knew he couldn't continue the fight. And from there, he was taken to the hospital where they found that he had what's called a subdural hematoma, which is a blood clot
Hmm.
in the temporal lobe. So he went into emergency surgery. He stayed in England until April. He was medvac to the United States,
Hmm.
where he stayed in a coma recovery hospital until August.
Hmm.
So in August, he came home, and we didn't complete the program, Donnie, because
Okay.
as you know, boxing is one of the sports where the athletes don't have medical insurance.
Right.
So when
Right.
we were at the recovery program, it was a cash payment, and it was probably the sum of maybe $60,000 to $70,000 a month cash.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
we knew we had to make the decision at some point. We needed to bring him home, excuse me, because
Hmm.
it's so costly. So my family made the decision to bring him home, where we've cared for him at home for the last 28 years.
Wow. Wow, and that's the story, y'all. For people that don't know, and I'm talking about just the casual people that don't know, we're talking about Gerald McClellan, what happened to him the night of, and what caused um, this issue that he has right now. And Lisa's done a fine job, as far as I know, as far as I can see, and all through the Facebook and everything. She's done a tremendous job for
Thank
her
you.
brother, a wonderful job, and steady at it. And I'm talking about constantly steady at it. From what I have seen for the last 4 years, because that's how long my program has been on with me and J York Productions. So, and I'm gonna tell you something. It takes a lot, to do what you do, Lisa. Pastor, the
Yes,
fighters.
sir.
Here we go. The fighters need help. You formed a foundation. I don't, and and for the fighters, if you would, if you would, uh, th- tell us how this was formed out in California.
No, thank you, Donnie. And I'm a testament to the fact that Lisa has taken tremendous care of her
Really?
brother, and meeting the champ a couple of times. And even though I'm in California, and and our company and organization are meeting all the time, she is a tremendous caregiver,
Yes.
and it's an honor to serve. And that's in large part what drew me. I call like the Ring of Brotherhood really like a pandemic miracle.
Hmm.
And and the reason why is because it was right at the onset of the pandemic that I met Lisa through a mutual friend.
Right.
And originally we were going to just focus on filming and and multimedia storytelling, and especially within the athletic space. Even though I'm a pastor, but I still have a athletic penchant and a
Hmm.
desire to really enjoy art and athletics. And so when my friend told me about Lisa and her brother, it interested me. And
Hmm.
so we developed a relationship, her
Hmm.
with and a group of others, and then it began to morph from just the multimedia side of it into what can we do to help the fighters. And to
Yeah.
be truthful, that was there from the very beginning, even as we were discussing the filming aspect, and telling the stories of these amazing men and women who have fought, and a lot of them, obviously, the percentages of them who perhaps don't have the resources to live the life they once lived,
Hmm.
because of the need is so great, and that's a whole nother vein
Yes.
to tap into at
Yeah.
another time, perhaps.
Yes,
But
sir.
because of the need, we made that transition to a foundation, even though we still are in that multimedia space. But because of the need is so great, and Lisa's relationships, and so on and so forth, everyone that we begin to connect and relate to had a heart to help these fighters and other athletes that are in combat sports,
Yeah.
or impact sports like football and so forth. And so we wanted to have a greater impact than just getting their story, but we wanted to, provide services and, you know, um, treatment plans, connections with the regenerative medicine space, where folks who have brain injuries can get, the latest and the greatest attention there. And so that's how it came about.
Okay.
We have literally met twice a week for 3 years. True story.
Mm.
And out of that came the foundation, and we were excited about being able to, be there for these amazing champions and warriors.
Great.
And
That's wonderful. There's the story, y'all.
mhm.
How it began and how it started. Him and Lisa got together. He was intrigued by what was going on with Lisa, and there is the story how this foundation got built. I want to say hello to some people that is joining us. I love the people. That's what the show is about. And I want to say hello. And Lisa, I'm coming right back to you after I do this.
Okay.
Nate 20, hello to you. Thank you for stopping in. You're live right now with the D Hall, D Hall People Show, and J Your Production, and with Lisa McClellan and Pastor Kevin Pearson. Hello to you. Mel Twinning, hello to you too. They must be brothers. Two Mel and Nate Twinning must be brothers. Good to see you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you too. Brandon Lashley, ring announcer out of Arkansas. Uh, Tremendous guy. Thank you for stopping on. He does combat sports. He announces combat sports. Glad to see him on. Tony Burgess, Spring Lake, North Carolina. My good friend. My good friend. Hope to see him pretty soon in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The fights out of Spring Lake, North Carolina, with the boxing gym, the Burgess Fitness. Hello to you, my brother. Happy Father's Day to you. Um, Here we go. Nate Twinning. He's got a question for you, Lisa. Let's grab this question right quick.
Okay.
Lisa, he says, "What do you think is best? What do you think is the best way people can help our idols and their caregivers?" That's his question to you.
Well, one of the things I wanted to do, Donnie, when there's other organizations, great organizations. The WBC has helped fighters, and then, as you know, Matt from Ring 10, who's not well anymore and able to help. But when Pastor and I and our team started the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation, we wanted to take care of the fighters, but we also wanted to make sure the caregivers were looked after. I've been, in the last 28 years, Donnie, I've done this without a pension plan for myself. And I've had medical issues that have come up, and there's no help for me because I've made the commitment to Gerald. So we want to, in the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation, we want to also make sure the caregivers are looked after. But the best thing that we can do, to answer his question, we want to provide treatment to these guys that are suffering. So we created a clinical research committee where we have a wonderful team of doctors, scientists. We have a couple fighters. We have journalists. We've built a really good team, and we wrote treatment plans. And we have the doctors that are prepared to help the fighters with the treatment plans. So the thing we have to do now is we have to raise money for the foundation, Donnie, to be able to provide the treatment for the athletes and do whatever we can to help their families or the caregivers.
Yeah. All right. There you go. There's your answer, my man, Mr. Twinning. As the question is answered for you right there. Want to say hello also to another guest out of the UK, all the way out of the UK, Stephen Covell. Want to say hello to you. Thank you for stopping in and being a part of the show today and checking us out. Lisa, next, just look. How long would you say? How long would you say that there has been no help for the fighters? How long would you say that? Because it's been no. There's no help. Y'all look like the only people that are helping them right now. This particular time that I know of.
Well, we've had other organizations, Donnie. The WBC has a program. Excuse me. The WBC has a program where I've actually assisted. There's a 4-page application, and a lot of these guys, Donnie, that are suffering with traumatic brain injuries and CTE aren't able to even fill out the 4-page application. Jeez. Because on the application you have to present certain documents, and with a lot of these guys not having any short-term memory, they were running into problems not getting the applications completed. So I kind of stepped in as a liaison for probably 16 fighters, where every year I do their applications. I help them get the paperwork that is expected from the WBC, from the Community Foundation. And I just kind of stay along with them into, they do anything from pay medical bills. Wow. We've paid for hyperbarics for fighters. We've paid for housing, food. We've helped with transportation. So they have a guideline that we stick in between that guideline. So just helping the fighters. Yeah. And then there was Ring 10, as I said, who Matt is also suffering from CTE and no longer able to help. So other than there's a pension in the state of California for the fighters in California, but you have to have fought so many rounds in California to be eligible for that pension. So in a sense, we probably are the only organization, Donnie, that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're offering treatment. No one
Treatment.
else is offering to
Mm-hmm.
help fix the problem. So we want to be a part of fixing these,
Mm-hmm.
providing the treatment to help these guys and their families kind of get their lives back.
Wow. Well, and that's what I say because it's like, you know, y'all have got. I mean, as far as I know it's a guy called me the other night was telling me about another organization. But as far as what you just said, the treatment, the help that they need, you guys are doing that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Uh,
And that came because, Donnie, in the 28 years,
mm-hmm.
there's not been a person that I can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, what do I do about Gerald's behavior? Or what
Right.
do I do about the aggression? I have not had that in 28 years. So
Mm-hmm.
this is something um, we can now provide for our athletes.
Wow, well, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. I want to say hello to Jackie Bowers. Thank you for coming in and thank you for stopping and being on the show. We are getting deep into this thing now. Pastor, let's go to you. Um, the vision. What is the long term vision for this whole operation? Your vision, along with Lisa's. What is the vision?
Well, um, thank you. And we do have a wonderful team. I want to give a quick shout out,
Yeah,
if I have a little liberty,
go ahead.
to Margie Ellis and William Zimmerman. They're our partners in this as well. And the reason why I brought them up is because, over the last 3 years, we've really, you know, been hashing this out. I mean, like, feel like we've been in the ring, Lisa.
Mm.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And so, and this pandemic miracle, I did not expect that, God had something else for me to do, with in addition to the work that we've done. So the vision is really, to provide, you know, answers to the question that the gentleman just asked, and
Okay.
that Lisa so eloquently, you know, addressed, is to provide, long-term care opportunities, to be an advocate for research with brain health, brain injuries, where fighters, can, get the attention from the doctors, because let's face it, these men and women have made millions of dollars for
Mm-hmm.
all of these organizations, people on various levels, but now they are left when the applause is gone. A lot of them don't have the capacity to fill out applications.
Mm.
The family's not there. They were there when they were, dripping, if you
Mm-hmm.
may, when they were dripping in dollars and
Yeah.
ice on their neck. But now that it's gone, the families are not there, perhaps in a lot of cases. So we want to, provide, not only clinical research, but like residential care,
Yeah.
and residential opportunities there, wraparound services that deal with, financial services, counseling, all of these things that will be available through the foundation from the donations of, various corporations and just everyday people. So we just really want um, to help them with well-being. You
Right.
know, we don't
Yeah.
claim to know it all or have all the answers, but if we can somehow be an advocate. Just recently, Lisa and the team has received an award, an advocacy award from the World Stem Cell Summit in North Carolina 2 weeks ago, and it
Mhm.
was an amazing honor. But what that is doing is drawing attention to the needs of these fighters and athletes,
Yes.
and so we
Yes.
want to leverage that to have the resources to help, these amazing men and women. So
Amen.
the vision is that it would, after we're dead and gone, Lord willing, the day is
Just
coming,
there you go.
that it will still
Still
be
move on.
there. It
Yeah.
has to be sustainable.
There
As
you
long
go.
as the sport is sustainable, it
Yeah.
has to be sustainable. And so therefore, we're developing strategic partnerships that it will be sustainable. Housing, medical care, medical research, eventually dealing with those financial services where they can,
Yes.
pay into their own pensions and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, that's a part of it. And
Yeah.
uh, we've been discussing this for 3 years, so it would take me a couple of days. But just in a nutshell, yeah, that's
That's
part of
it.
it.
Got it. And that was my whole thing. And I want to say that because you hit it right on the head, and Lisa did too. The vision, as you just said it, after you're gone, it's still going on. That's the thing. We don't want it to stop because, hey, we wanted to keep rolling along because there's going to be combat sports, and we're just not only talking about in boxing, just combat sports in many other different ways. You got karate, you got MMA, you got kickboxing. All we're talking about all the sports. Period. That's what we're
Our
talking about.
our foundation, Donnie, is not just the boxers are our motivation, or were initially the motivation. But if there's a UFC fighter that needs help, or an NFL player that needs
There you
help,
go. Yeah.
we want to be able to offer our services to any athlete that needs our help.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's what it's about. And y'all heard that. Any athlete, what they started this thing from the ground and they moving it up. So that means any athlete, anybody in that sports combat, because combat is very serious, and people have got killed in the ring. Yes, they have. Yeah, they have. Um, Here we go. Uh, you got Lisa. This is directed to you.
Okay.
Partners. The partners. Who are your partners right now in this foundation?
Um, do you mean my team, or people that we've partnered with?
Well, I guess it would be your team. Who is your team that's supporting you? This
Okay.
whole help
Well, one
support
of
you.
our the I've worked with Mauricio Suleiman from the WBC for a
Yeah, that's
number
right.
of years, and it started with helping Juro. And
Right.
then since being a part of Ring 10, Donnie, I met so many fighters in need that Matt was helping. So when Matt wasn't able to help anymore, um, I kind of picked up the baton, and I would call Mauricio and say, "Hey, this guy is homeless. This guy needs groceries. This guy needs help."
Mhm.
And we've been blessed, Donnie, that Mauricio has been there to support these guys. So one of our um, that's been very very meaningful is our partnership with the WBC.
Yeah, the WB.
So
Yeah.
we just recently partnered with the WBC um, because in our meetings with that we've had with the WBC over the last 3 years, when we first started this, Donnie, because of the relationship with
Hmm.
Mauricio, I didn't want him to think that we were attacking boxing. I
Right.
wanted him to know that this is real life, and guys are leaving the ring damaged, and the
Hmm.
world is pretending like they don't see
See it.
that
Yeah,
these
exactly.
athletes
Yeah,
are
exactly.
damaged.
Yeah.
So, um, in doing the presentation, um, he decided to support us. So he came aboard when we first started 2.5 years ago. He came aboard, and so when we started the foundation, we kind of approached him again to let him know, what we were doing with the foundation. So um, we came up with the partnership
Hmm.
where through the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation and the WBC, um, we can offer more help, or we can um, we have a bigger audience
Audience,
having
yeah,
WBC's partnership to be able to help these guys.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
And then we also have Millennium Health. It's Dr. Mark Gordon, who is a wonderful traumatic brain injury doctor. We have Boston BioLife. Um,
Hmm.
we have Skulltex. Skulltex is a company that made a device that protects the fight. You wear it um, in training that protects the brain. And
Hmm.
then he's also made some hand shields that go inside the glove to protect the fighter's hands. So we've had great
Wow.
partnerships.
Wow.
12 Creative, a young man that does Rashawn McClarity that does our filming, because we are Donnie. Originally, our LLC is a multimedia company,
Right.
so we wanted to film these fighters and where they were at in their lives, and to also be able to provide them with the help they need. So we have captured that on film, and we just recently did some PSAs, public service announcements,
Announcement. Hmm.
where we filmed referees, um, famous referees, family members of Muhammad Ali, um, Floyd Mayweather's
Hmm.
management,
Right.
um, doctors, where we're bringing awareness to what's
Yeah.
going on in
Going
the
on.
ring and what we have to do to keep these fighters safe in the ring. So we're releasing the PSAs on our foundation's website. They're on our YouTube page. So we're just, we want to bring awareness to um, trying to prevent a lot of the injuries from happening in the ring as well.
Right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's wonderful, because that's what your partners are. It goes back to what I was just saying. Your partners are there to help you, and the WBC and all the other groups that you just announced. I like that. I like them coming in and giving you that hand, excuse me, to help you, and the pastor also, with this, because it takes that, and you guys have done a tremendous job with that. Uh, Stephen Covell said you guys are doing God's work. I'm just getting out some of the words that is, is coming across my screen. Jay York, Jay York, my producer, my guy, he's here on now, and he's also watching the one that did y'all promos, those outstanding promos he did for y'all. But he did that. He's on now. Um, Pastor, here we go. Question for you. We're getting close to the end of this thing. Um, why haven't there been any help for? Why do you think there haven't been any help for the fighters in your mind? What your opinion?
I definitely want to defer this question to Lisa, but I'll give the
A little
my
bit.
yeah, because I think she's better apt to answer that.
Okay.
But I would say from my perspective,
Yeah.
even as a fan, I used to box until my mama wouldn't sign the paperwork no more. Some of y'all catch that later.
Okay.
Um, and but just I think because you know the overarching leadership, you know, I think everybody has a lot of the organizations have their hands in the pot per se,
Mhm.
but they're not making the fighter the priority.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's more deeper than that, but I think you have to make the fighter or the athlete the priority, because if you're the moment you start stop taking care of him or her, then I think it dehumanizes, it dehumanizes the athlete, and then it's corporation first, then it's network first, or various
Right.
organizations and
Mhm.
individuals, without trying to
Yeah.
point anybody out. I think
Yeah.
everybody knows who they are.
Right.
But I think when we make the athlete the prime, um, objective here, it will be enough to go around, but the health and well-being of that person, it should, there's no way that there should not be a pension. There's no way that there should not be insurance, or even like accidental insurance at a certain level that the
Level, yeah.
family can have, or or that person who's designated to handle those business responsibilities. And so, and those are some of the things that we want to, partner with other organizations. And also we, on a fiduciary level, we're connected to the Nevada Community Foundation. So as people want to donate, you can go to their website, you can see. So we have that as well. And so, because we want to make sure that the totality of the individual is cared for. But,
Right.
but that's a little bit of what I think about that. But
Yeah,
I think Lisa would
yeah.
be better
Li-
suited to answer that
Yeah.
question.
Lisa, what's your thoughts on that?
I think the issue has been, Donnie, no one wants to acknowledge that fighters are leaving the ring damaged. Gerald's was a separate case of being injured in the ring. But there are so many more, Donnie, that never got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
that left the ring at the end of their careers, that are just as damaged as Gerald.
Right.
But if we don't
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yeah.
then we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's time to start showing the world what is actually happening with these fighters. And then we have a responsibility to fix it. So
Yes.
I know a lot of Gerald's friends, when he first got hurt, Donnie, said, well, here's a couple of dollars. We just don't want to see Gerald that way, or they didn't want to come and visit. And I get it. It is a mind thing when you see what could happen,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go in the ring and it can happen to you, or you can cause it to happen to your opponent.
Right.
So
Right.
we have to put this out there for people to see what's going on. I've, for 20 years, Donnie, 25 years, I didn't want the world to see what we were really going through, because there's a lot of combativeness, there's a lot of aggression, and it's not just in my household because of Gerald's brain damage. A lot of the other family members experience the same things that I do, as far as these guys with CTE being violent, being aggressive, being combative. And the problem can be fixed. It can be fixed with the right team of doctors and scientists. There's simple things, Donnie, as far as nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
that can cause healing to the brain. And even 28 years later, having those things have helped Gerald. That brings some calmness to his brain, even 28 years later. So
Right.
there's things out here that we can do to help.
Yeah. Gotcha. We got a question for you, Lisa. There's a question just popped up here. It's coming from Nate Twinning. He says, Lisa, what do you think is the best way we can educate the public and the caregivers on how to deal with TBI, and what would be the best long-term programs for the caregivers so they don't burn out?
Good question. Yeah.
To answer that question, I'll answer the end of it first.
Okay.
After 28 years, Donnie, and to Nate 20, the only reason I'm still here 28 years later is the grace of God.
Amen.
That's the only reason I'm still here. And secondly, so the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation, we have our annual gala. So every year, Donnie, we're going to have a fundraiser to
Okay.
be able to continue to financially help these fighters. So on our Friday night, we have a sports and brain health symposium, and where we have a group of doctors, and we have the athletes family members, where we'll get in a room and we'll discuss, what are the next steps that we can take, what can we do to help. So we have doctors speaking, we have athletes are going to be speaking, I just found out yesterday. I invited Tish Dixon
Hmm.
from. He wrote the book Damaged. He's also going to be one of our speakers at the Brain Health, the Sports Symposium.
Hmm.
So we want to also educate people, Donnie, on brain health, how to prevent it, and then how to get through it as well.
Hmm.
So through the foundation, we'll have counseling, and I'll be on hand. Um, I wanna. I don't want to be one of those people, Donnie, that start a foundation and then hand it off to someone else.
Right.
I want to actively be involved. I want to be there to help the family members because I've gone through things for 28 years that I can assist someone else in, getting through.
Yeah.
Pastor's a pastor. He's available if the athletes, if they need family prayer and
Amen.
that we have counselors available. So we want to actively be involved in our foundation to where, we're hands on with helping anyone
Gotcha.
that needs our help.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Look, we got to wind this thing down. It's been wonderful. It's been a truly a blessing, Pastor Lisa. Y'all have really educated my mind with the program, with the foundation, and what you're trying to do and what you're going to do, and the vision. And I love that because we want the vision to go further, further, further on down the road. Even as the pastor said, as when we pass away. So, I am truly glad to be able to bring both of you on this program. Me and Jay York, y'all have tremendously blessed us with the knowledge. Lisa, you're welcome anytime. Pastor, you're also welcome. Any questions for me?
Wow. I have some. We definitely want people to be able to find us. Is it?
Okay.
My question is, I guess it's a. Is there a way that we can maybe put up our website address so if
Yes.
folks want to know a little bit more about us, you can go to the Ring of Brotherhood Foundation .org, and there's even more detailed information where you can follow us and so forth.
Yeah.
And so
Put that out
that
there.
would be, yeah, please.
Yeah.
And I just
Follow.
want to say, man, you're doing a great job. It's an honor to be with you today.
This.
And
It's been a wonderful thing to see you,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Lisa,
And
your
I don't
final.
have any questions, Donnie, because I inbox you all the time whenever I have one. So, but no, thank you for having us on today because it is important for us to get this message out here
Yeah.
about the foundation and about what we're doing. So we most definitely appreciate you for that.
Oh yeah. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. One more question before I go. Before we get out of here, and I will start with you, Pastor. Well, let me do it. I'm going to start with Lisa. That's what I'm going to do. What does the D
That's who
Hall
you
people?
start with right there. That's who you start with.
What does the D Hall people show and the J York Productions mean to you, Lisa?
um, well, we started off about 4 years ago, Donnie, and and worked on some things together.
Right.
Um, so what this show means to me is it's great to have someone like D Hall and the People Show, just to keep the boxing news out there and to bring. I see athletes on your show where we get a chance to see who those people really are, So I think that's great, um, that you do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Pastor, what does the D Hall people show and the J York Productions mean to you, sir?
Well, it means to me that there are people who still care about others unconditionally. And, you know, when you're altruistic and, that means that it means that there's hope in the world
There
in the
you
midst
go.
of everything else is going on. So keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you.
And then maybe one day I'll be able to grow a beard, Lisa, like Brother Dion. Yeah. That should have
I
been my
got
question. How do I grow a beard? Because that's the damage.
very
But
carefully.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
carefully.
But man, hope. you guys are providing hope to people, and keep up the great work, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, privilege, and an honor to have both of you. Lisa, you're welcome here anytime. Pastor, you're welcome.
Thank you. Donnie, I'd like to maybe if we can a little closer to our gala, if maybe you could help us advertise and get the word out there for the gala, that would be excellent. Sure. If we could do that.
You send me what you got. Me and Jay York can jump on it and we'll push it out for you.
And we want to extend the invitation for you to also be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We got some great people, Donnie, going to be there.
Cali, baby.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Send me what you got. We'll get it out there for you. We thank you. Anytime you need me, the program, we're here for you. Thank y'all for coming.
Appreciate it, Donnie.
All right.
Thank you, Brother Donnie. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there again. God bless you all.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Thank
God
you.
bless you, Donnie.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Pastor. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay.
There you have it, y'all. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people done to help going to help the fighters. It's something that, we don't never talk about, the afterlife for the boxers. Look, I got to get out of here. I thank y'all. I thank y'all for coming on. To all the people that was that I didn't say hello to, and happy Father's Day to everybody. I want to say to y'all, thank y'all for coming to watch the show. Get ready. We'll be back next Sunday. Yeah, we got everything go right. We got Jeff Mayweather coming on next Sunday. Y'all get ready. We're gonna have him on next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got part of the Mayweather family coming on the D Hall People Show. Look, y'all stay tuned. Tune in with me. Oh boy, we're gonna be talking next week. Y'all have next Sunday. Y'all have a good evening. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Thank you.
You are in the mix with D Hall and the People's Show.
You got it locked with D Hall on the weekend, baby. Ready?
Coming to us out of studio today in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay York. He is the number one, undisputed, top talk show host on the air today. The voice of the People Show. Ladies and gentlemen, here is D Hall.